Horror story, the biggest I mean, I can name a few, like not one specifically because I've had a few, but one of the big horror stories that could possibly happen is like one of your best ticket sellers, one of your best fighters, calling you like the week of the fight and telling you he can't fight because he injured himself. He got cut in sparring or something. Or or that fighter's opponent pulling out because they got sick or they got hurt, or another promoter paid for them to fight on their show instead, or the commission didn't approve him. Like I've had, so my main event, you got your undercard fights, and then you got your main event. I remember on one of my shows, like the commission called me last minute and was like, yeah, we don't have so-and-so's CAT scan. And I'm like, what? We turned that into you like 3 weeks ago. What are you talking about? No, we don't have it. We need that CAT scan. And this is like days before the fight. So now I'm like, oh man, I got to call that fighter. Luckily that fighter's parents like are very involved in his career, and the mom drove all the way to some facilities you don't have to make appointments for. They do same day appointments. So she went straight there, got the fighter's CAT scan, got it signed off, and drove it. Instead of mailing it, she drove it all the way to the commission's office and gave it to them.
Oh, wow.
So that was like, whew, that was like a save right there. You lose your main event, that's a shizzy situation.
I mean, at that point, can't even imagine. You're out all that. There's no event. Everyone's gonna want their money back.
Well, no, you still can have the event, but you're losing your best fighter and you're losing the ticket sales.
All right, because like you always have like your main event, but you have your.
They all sell tickets. So like, let's say I have 10 shows. All 10 of those fighters sell tickets.
Right.
They also their fan base, their friends, their family. You know, but the main event is usually your best fighter, and it's usually your highest ticket seller.
Right. No, that makes sense. Yeah. What'd you do? What would you have done if that parent would have not gotten involved at that point? What was your? I could imagine you probably thought of hopeful backup.
I would have did the same thing. I probably would have like found time to pick that fighter up and let's go get this done. Yeah. I mean, I remember another horror story. This was on another show. I mean, I had one fight fall out because some dummy came in overweight. I had another fight fall out because somebody got hurt. I had like 3-4 fights fall out. So before I went from a 10-fight card to now I got 7 fights left. And then I ended up having 6 fights because my main event fell out. His opponent, something happened. So I'm up at like 2, 3, 4 in the morning right now talking to fighters in Mexico. And I say Mexico, those are my go-to guys right there. Because those guys, they don't care what the weight is. They're like, yeah, you pay them, especially you pay them more than what their money's worth too. Those guys are always ready to fight. They're always reliable. So I was up 3, 4 in the morning. I got an opponent like last minute from Mexico. Had to fly him in like the next day. Because those guys, like I said, they stay ready. They're so reliable.
Probably an opportunity.
The opportunity, but like it's also a business for them. It's also a business for them because they're getting paid more money than in a night than they're probably making at whatever job they have.